Fordonsunderleverantören Concentric har kapitalmarknadsdag idag. Inför denna har man justerat upp sina finansiella mål, eller justerat sina finansiella mål ska jag säga. Med oss för att diskutera detta har vi Martin Kunz, and I'll take this in English. Joining us from England, of course, Kunz Concentric is not a very Swedish company, but you're holding your capital markets date here today, and you made some adjustment in your goals ahead of that day. Can you talk about those new goals?
That's correct. Yeah, we announced those new goals this morning, and we will go deeper in the explanation of our new strategy and the goals in today's capital markets day here in Stockholm. And when you look back at the history of Concentric, publicly listed since 2011, a lot of things have happened in the market since then. We are now on a very exciting journey in electrification, which provides tremendous opportunities for the company. And that, together with some other changes in our strategy, made us thought that it was the right moment now to announce also our new goals.
I want to hear more about this journey towards electrification. I have many questions about pumps and what I think of as a very diesel-heavy industry. But before we go there, tell me about the numbers. What's new in terms of numbers and goals?
So we have published this morning that over the next cycle, business cycle, which is 5 years, we will increase the percentage of sales coming from electric product to 30%, which is basically capturing the growth opportunities in this exciting electrification market.
And where are we today? Sorry to interrupt you.
Today, in 2022, we finished with 17% of electric sales from our total sales. And that journey is so exciting and provides so many opportunities for Concentric that it was worth basically putting it in the context of the new strategy and also announcing new goals.
And do you have a margin goal and a debt goal as well?
Yeah, I think our margin goal is probably the most important one. That remains unchanged. We have always been very profitable, so we continue with the goal to have minimum 16% of margin from our business.
And that's where you are basically in the latest earnings report.
Correct.
I took a look.
This is where we are.
Very good. What are margins like in this new environment that you're talking about? Are margins worse, better, or the same when you deliver to an electric truck?
Yeah, we have spoken about that several times also in our earnings announcement. We don't see any difference between the margins we have in our mechanical base business today compared to the margins we have in our electric business. So those basically remain unchanged. That means also a greater share of electrified products in our sales will not have any impact on our margins.
I said earlier that I think of this as a diesel business. Big trucks are fueled by diesel. Tell me about the adaptation. How much does your products need to change to fit into an electric truck?
The products that go into an electric truck are different to the ones that we have on diesel engines. But we also need to look at electrification as something that is not necessarily binary. It doesn't happen at the same time everywhere. So the different market segments that we serve will electrify with a different pace. And that also means that for heavy-duty applications, we serve a lot into construction industry, agriculture equipment. Those machines will electrify over time, but they will electrify much later than the trucks, for example. So we still have a solid base business that continues to develop, continues to grow around the internal combustion engine. And that's also a part now of our strategy to continue to develop and improve this base business along with the growth that we have in the electrification business.
So electric cars change at one pace, trucks at another, and agricultural machines and construction equipment
That's
at
about
another.
right. That's about right.
And you can dance in any pace. You can change and adapt. What if electricity doesn't turn out to be the best way to fuel heavy trucks, for example?
That's a very good question. So when we speak about our solutions, they are technology agnostic. Basically, we don't know whether in the future battery electric or fuel cell will be the winning technology, or whether there will be a coexistence of the two, it doesn't really make any difference to our growth plans, because the underlying challenge we have both need liquid cooling, and this is where our pumps and our cooling systems, including the electric fans, are coming into play. So we have solutions for all different technology, and even if the diesel continues longer than what we think because of technical requirements or other needs, we continue to serve our base business products.
This is a very embarrassing question. So your pumps doesn't pump diesel predominantly, they pump other
Our
things.
pumps in what we call the mechanical business,
Yes.
they can pump diesel, they can pump oil, or they can pump water. So we have applications for all of these. Obviously, when you go into the electrified world, there's no diesel anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The oil pumps are much less sophisticated, but you have a much higher demand for coolant pump that pump water. Basically, the challenge we have in the electrified world is the tremendous amount of heat that is generated through batteries, battery controllers, and other applications on an electric vehicle. And in that case, it means that such a vehicle might easily have 6, 8, or 10 of our electric pumps on it. So we have a much higher value, more products that we can deliver to an electric vehicle than what we have been or we are currently delivering to an internal combustion engine vehicle.
This is very fascinating. I want to end with the boring part. Your old goals, when did they end, so to say, and did you manage to meet those?
Yeah, I mean, when we look back, our business has pretty much been stable, and the focus has been on margin improvement, and also basically managing the cyclicality in our business. And Concentric has always been providing good returns to our shareholders. That's obviously the great foundation that we keep. Now, the change in what we call the new strategy that we're talking about today is the shift to profitable growth. We don't want to stay a stable business. We want profitable growth, keeping the margins that we have as our targets, but at the same time also participate in this exciting electrification growth, whilst at the same time continue to develop our base business.
Very fascinating. I'm happy you joined us here. One last question. We think of Concentric as a Swedish company. It's listed in Sweden. You're based in England. Do you have any activity, any manufacturing in Sweden at all today? Yeah, we are an interesting setup as a company. We are listed in Sweden because of our history. Our small headquarter is in the UK, and 2/3 of our business last year, because of the acquisition of EMP, are in the US, and we have a truly global footprint. So we have manufacturing sites in Germany, in the UK, in Sweden through our joint venture with Alfa Laval, company called Alfdex. But then we are big in the US, and we operate in India and in China. So we are in Sweden through our joint venture, but we are a truly global player that has its established place in this industry. Martin Kunz, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck with your Capital Markets Day today. It has been a pleasure being here today with you. Thank you very much. Thank you.